God says, listen closely, my beloved soul. Before you scroll away or assume this is something ordinary, pause for a moment and breathe. This message may sound simple at first, but it carries something deeper than you realize. It is about your hair, yes, but it is not just about appearance, not just about style, not just about what others see when they look at you. It is about identity, strength, and the silent story your life has been telling through every season you have walked through. You did not come across this message by accident. There is something symbolic, something personal, something healing connected to this. Your hair has witnessed your tears when no one else did. It has been there when you felt confident and powerful, and it has been there when you felt insecure and unseen. It has been cut during new beginnings. It has grown during seasons of patience. It has fallen during stress. It has changed when you changed. And God is reminding you right now that nothing about you is random. Even the smallest detail of your body carries meaning, carries memory, carries transformation. There were moments when you looked in the mirror and did not like what you saw. Moments when you felt tired of trying, tired of fixing, tired of presenting yourself strong when you felt weak inside. But what you did not understand was that every strand represents endurance. Every strand represents survival. Every strand represents growth that continues even when you are not consciously thinking about it. Just like your hair grows quietly in the background of your life, so has your strength. This is not about vanity. This is about restoration. There is something shifting in your life right now. A new season is forming around you, and just as hair renews itself, you are being renewed. You are shedding old energy. You are releasing old thoughts. You are stepping into a version of yourself that feels lighter, freer, and more aligned with who you truly are. If you have recently felt the urge to change your hair, cut it, grow it, treat it differently, or even just pay attention to it, that is not random. It reflects an internal transformation. You have been carrying pressure for too long. You have been overthinking, overworking, overgiving. Stress has touched your body, and sometimes it shows in ways you did not expect. But God is saying that restoration is beginning. The tension is leaving. The heaviness is lifting. Your body is responding to the healing that is quietly taking place in your spirit. There is also something else. Someone once commented on your hair in a way that stayed with you. Maybe it was praise. Maybe it was criticism. Maybe it made you feel small. Maybe it made you feel beautiful. That moment shaped how you saw yourself more than you realized. But today, that voice loses power. Today, you begin seeing yourself through a higher lens. You are not defined by trends, by opinions, by comparisons, or by temporary standards. Your hair represents freedom. It represents authenticity. It represents your ability to express yourself without apology. And right now, God is reminding you that you are allowed to embrace yourself exactly as you are becoming. You do not need to change to be worthy. You do not need to shrink to be accepted. You do not need to hide your natural self to be loved. Something new is aligning in your life. A fresh confidence is forming. A fresh opportunity is approaching. a fresh connection may soon enter your path. And this time, you will not question your value. This time, you will not doubt your beauty. This time, you will not silence yourself to fit into someone else's expectation. There is growth happening that you cannot fully see yet. Just like hair grows slowly, invisibly at first, the blessings forming around you are developing quietly. Do not rush the process. Do not compare your pace. What is meant for you is growing steadily. You are stepping into a season of self-acceptance, emotional maturity, and quiet power. The reflection you see in the mirror will begin to feel different. Not because your appearance suddenly changed overnight, but because your perception did. And perception changes everything. Now listen carefully. This is your moment to embrace yourself fully. Release insecurity. Release comparison. Release the pressure to be perfect. Stand in who you are. Allow yourself to grow naturally. Allow yourself to shine naturally. Allow yourself to rest when needed. If this message spoke directly to you, do not ignore that feeling. That connection is not random. Type, "I receive this new season," in the comments as a declaration. Like this video so this message can reach someone else who needs it. Share it with someone who has been struggling with self-worth. And subscribe so you don't miss the next word meant specifically for you. You are growing. You are renewing. And you are becoming more powerful than you realize. God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul, because what I am about to reveal is not about something external alone, it is about the deeper transformation that has been quietly unfolding within you for months, maybe even years, and you did not fully recognize it until now. Your hair has been changing just as you have been changing. And that change is symbolic of the unseen work taking place inside your spirit, because every time you felt like giving up yet chose to continue, every time you felt overlooked yet chose to stand tall, every time you felt exhausted yet chose to keep believing, something inside you strengthened, something inside you matured, something inside you aligned with a higher version of yourself that you are only beginning to understand. There were nights when you lay down feeling heavy, wondering why things felt delayed, why progress felt slow, why recognition felt distant, and yet the next morning you woke up and faced the world again, and just like that steady growth that happens without noise, without applause, without immediate visibility, your life has been progressing in ways that are not dramatic but deeply meaningful. And God is reminding you that growth does not always shout, sometimes it whispers, sometimes it unfolds quietly, sometimes it builds strength layer by layer until one day you realize you are not the same person who once doubted everything. You have been shedding more than you realize, shedding old fears, shedding outdated beliefs, shedding attachments that were once comfortable but no longer healthy, and just as hair naturally releases what is weak so that new strands can grow stronger, you have been releasing what no longer serves your highest good even when it felt painful to let go. There were connections that had to shift, conversations that had to end, habits that had to be broken, and even though you questioned why certain things fell apart, now you are beginning to understand that removal was not punishment, it was preparation, because what is coming into your life requires a more grounded, more confident, more emotionally steady version of you. God is aligning you for something that matches your growth, something that matches your new level of awareness, something that matches the maturity you earned through experience, and that alignment requires internal clarity. There is a restoration happening in your confidence, and it is subtle but powerful, because you are no longer seeking validation the way you once did. You are no longer measuring your worth by how others respond to you. You are beginning to feel secure from within, and that inner security changes everything. When you look at yourself now, you are starting to see resilience instead of flaws. You are starting to see experience instead of mistakes. You are starting to see beauty in authenticity instead of pressure to perform, and that shift is sacred. You have walked through seasons where comparison drained you, where you felt behind, where you questioned your timing, but God is saying that your timing has always been intentional, your path has always been uniquely designed, and nothing about your journey has been wasted. There is also an awakening happening around your identity, and this is important, because for a long time you tried to adapt yourself to fit certain expectations. You tried to adjust your personality, your energy, even your appearance to match what you thought others would accept, but now you are realizing that the version of you that is most magnetic, most peaceful, most fulfilled is the version that is genuine, unfiltered, and aligned with your true self. The transformation you are stepping into is not about becoming someone new. It is about returning to who you were always meant to be before doubt, criticism, and pressure shaped your perception. You are reclaiming yourself, and that reclamation. To survive what you survived, the strength it took to endure what you endured, and the discipline it took to stay consistent when quitting felt easier. That recognition is building a new foundation inside you, and that foundation will attract higher quality opportunities, relationships, and experiences because you will no longer accept what diminishes you. Financially, emotionally, and mentally, shifts are forming that will create stability. You may not see dramatic change overnight, but you will notice gradual improvement, more control over your thoughts, more focus in your plans, more intentional use of your time, and those small consistent improvements compound into bigger outcomes. You are learning to move strategically instead of impulsively. You are learning to invest your energy wisely instead of spreading it thin, and that discipline will produce visible results. A door that once felt permanently closed will show signs of reopening in a different form. An opportunity you thought was lost may reappear in a better version, and the patience you practiced will prove to have been necessary preparation rather than delay. Emotionally, you are healing layers you did not even know were still open. There were disappointments you buried, words that lingered longer than you admitted, expectations that collapsed quietly, and even though you continued functioning, part of you carried that weight. But healing has been unfolding gradually, and you are lighter now than you were before. You think more clearly, you react more calmly, you detach more easily from what drains you, and that emotional maturity is protecting your peace. The next stage of your life requires emotional steadiness, and you are becoming steady. You are not easily shaken the way you once were. You are not easily manipulated by opinions the way you once were. You are grounded in a way that makes you harder to disturb and easier to respect. There is a blessing forming that aligns with this new stability. It may come through recognition, through opportunity, through reconciliation, or through advancement, but it will reflect the inner changes you have made. You will not receive it as the old version of yourself. You will receive it as the stronger, wiser, more disciplined version. That is why the process felt long, because preparation takes time. You were not being ignored, you were being strengthened. You were not being delayed, you were being refined. And now refinement is turning into readiness. Stay consistent. Stay calm. Stay disciplined. Continue nurturing your mindset because the version of you that is emerging is built for long-term stability, not temporary excitement. Short-term validation no longer satisfies you the way it once did because you are thinking bigger now. You are building something sustainable, something grounded, something meaningful. God is aligning your path with that long-term vision, and that alignment requires patience and maturity, both of which you have been developing steadily. You are closer than you think to a visible shift. Do not let temporary doubt distract you now. Do not let impatience undo the progress you have made. Continue trusting the quiet process. Continue believing in the unseen alignment. Continue strengthening yourself internally because what is forming externally is connected to who you are becoming internally. This is not coincidence. This is preparation meeting timing. And as you move forward from this point, you will start to see subtle confirmations that you are on the right path, small signs of progress that remind you that your growth has not been wasted. Keep walking forward with confidence. Keep trusting the process. You are stepping into something steadier, something clearer, something more aligned with the person you have worked so hard to become. God says, "My beloved soul, you have listened patiently and you have stayed with this message longer than most people would, and that already reveals something important about you. Because only a focused and sincere heart remains attentive when truth is unfolding slowly, and what is happening in your life right now is not random noise but a carefully timed alignment that is beginning to reveal its pattern." You have been walking through a season of quiet preparation, and at times it felt invisible, almost unnoticed even by you, but heaven has not been silent about your growth. Every disciplined choice you made, every moment you held your peace instead of reacting, every time you chose integrity when no one was watching has been recorded in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The reason certain things did not collapse the way they could have is because unseen protection surrounded you. The reason certain opportunities did not disappear completely is because unseen favor held them in place. The reason you survived emotional storms without breaking is because unseen strength was building within you long before you realized it. You are entering a phase where internal clarity becomes external direction, and that means confusion will begin to fade. Decisions that once felt overwhelming will feel manageable. Conversations that once intimidated you will feel easier to navigate. You will notice that your words carry more weight, that your presence commands more respect, and that people respond differently to your calmness. This is not coincidence. When your inner world stabilizes, your outer world adjusts. You have been stabilizing quietly. You have been reorganizing your priorities, separating what truly matters from what only distracted you, and this reordering is preparing you for greater responsibility. Growth is not always loud. Sometimes it is silent, steady, disciplined. You have been growing in silence, and that silent growth is about to produce visible change. There is also a restoration happening in your confidence. Not arrogance, not pride, but grounded confidence. You are beginning to see yourself through a lens of strength rather than self-doubt. You are recognizing that you endured more than you gave yourself credit for. You handled pressure that would have broken others. You carried responsibilities quietly without complaining. You forgave when revenge felt easier. You remained honest when compromise seemed profitable. Those decisions shaped your character, and character creates destiny. The reason you feel a shift approaching is because character and timing are finally aligning. You are not stepping into something prematurely. You are stepping into something prepared. Financial stability is slowly forming around you, even if the numbers have not dramatically changed yet. The discipline you are building in how you manage time, energy, and focus will directly influence the opportunities coming toward you. You are learning to think long-term instead of short-term. You are learning that consistency builds more than intensity. You are learning that steady effort outperforms rushed ambition. These lessons are not small. They are foundations. And foundations determine how high you can build without collapsing. The next opportunity that comes your way will require the maturity you have been developing. It will test your patience, your organization, your focus, and you will handle it better than the old version of yourself ever could. Emotionally, you are healing deeper layers now. There were disappointments that quietly affected how you viewed yourself. There were relationships that made you question your worth. There were seasons where you felt overlooked, misunderstood, or unappreciated. But you did not allow bitterness to root itself permanently. You processed the pain. You reflected. You learned. And now you are lighter. You no longer seek validation the same way. You no longer chase approval. You are becoming secure in your own growth. That security is attractive. It draws healthier connections. It repels unnecessary drama. It strengthens your boundaries. You will soon notice that the type of people entering your life reflect your new stability rather than your past insecurity. There is also protection around you regarding decisions you are about to make. You may feel prompted to change something, to adjust something, to step away from something that no longer aligns with your direction. Trust that prompting. It is not fear, it is discernment. When growth occurs, environments that once felt comfortable may begin to feel limiting. That discomfort is not a sign to panic, it is a sign you are evolving. You cannot remain in the same mindset and expect different results. You cannot stay in the same patterns and expect expansion. And you are ready for expansion. You are ready to operate at a higher level of discipline, focus, and clarity. A breakthrough is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is subtle consistency finally producing momentum. You will notice small confirmations. First, subtle improvements in conversations, slight increases in opportunity, clearer communication, more organized thinking, stronger self-control. Those small confirmations are evidence that the shift has already begun. Do not overlook them because they are not loud. Some of the most powerful changes begin quietly. You are not being rushed. You are being positioned. Timing matters, and your timing is aligning with preparation. Stay steady now. Avoid impulsive reactions. Continue strengthening your routine. Continue protecting your peace. Continue refining your goals. You are closer to visible transformation than you realize, but it requires you to remain grounded. Doubt may try to return, impatience may try to rush you, but you have matured beyond that cycle. You know how to pause. You know how to observe. You know how to respond rather than react. That maturity will guard you in the next stage. The season ahead carries clarity, structure, and alignment. What once felt chaotic will begin to feel organized. What once felt uncertain will begin to feel directed. You are not stepping into confusion, you are stepping into stability. You are not stepping into loss, you are stepping into refinement. The discipline you cultivated will protect the blessing you receive. The patience you practiced will sustain the progress you experience. The growth you committed to will define the outcomes that follow. Keep your heart steady. Keep your focus sharp. Keep your mindset disciplined. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are prepared. And preparation meeting timing always creates movement. What has been forming quietly is ready to move into visibility. Walk forward with confidence. Remain calm in the process. The alignment is unfolding, and you are exactly where you need to be. If this message truly resonated with your spirit, don't scroll away like it was just another video. Pause for a moment and respond from your heart. Type, "I receive this alignment," in the comments as a declaration that you are ready for the next level of your life. Let it be personal. Let it be intentional. Like this video so this message can reach someone else who needs clarity today. Share it with one person who has been feeling confused or uncertain lately. And if you feel that something inside you shifted while listening, subscribe right now, because the next message might be the confirmation you've been waiting for.